All right, we're down here on the front straightaway. We're going to take a couple of minutes here just to introduce you to a couple of guys. And driver the number 10, Blake Childers from Flint, Michigan. Your first trip to this place, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's our first trip here at this racetrack, and we're excited, looking forward to the night. It's a really fun, racy track, and I think it's going to be a good race for everybody.
Now, I know you usually run at Owasso. Now, that's a little bit different configuration than this paperclip here.
Oh, yeah, it is. Corners are a lot wider. Straightaway is a little bit longer. It almost feels like a mini Owasso, just a little bit shorter straightaways and a lot tighter turns. Racy place, and I kind of feel like I'm at home here, you know.
How big was the adjustment when you got here to figure this place out?
Oh, it took me a little bit there. It's been a long time since I've been on a track with that tight of turns. So it feels like you're just stopping and turning and then going. And it took me a couple sessions, but we think we got it figured out pretty well.
Now, I know you're not new to this racing game. You've been at this a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've been racing Outlaws for probably it's been 15 years now. 2-barrel classes and now 4-barrel stuff. But, yeah, I've been racing a long time. Been racing something since I've been 4 years old. Quarter midgets, dirt bikes, everything like that. So.
If it's got wheels on it, you're going to run it.
Oh, yeah, even snowmobiles.
Now, I know it's a long haul in here, but was it the purse that attracted you or the challenge of this race?
A little bit of all of it. The purse is good. The challenge sounds fun, and we got some Canadian friends that come racing with us down at Outlaw Speedway, and we figure they come down and they show us support. We're going to come up here and show them some support. So we're here to race and have some fun.
Now, what do you think of this Canadian competition here?
A lot of good competition. Best in the business. We're going to see how this all unfolds tonight.
We're looking forward to it. Should be a great night, and best of luck to you. All right. Blake Childers, let's take a little wander here. There's another guy I wanted to talk to. He's a little further back in the field now, I think. We'll find him. You can run, but you can't hide. It's kind of like racing. Man, that is one stout field of cars when you look at it. Beautiful machines. The one thing we found out from some of the drivers that we did talk to, these machines, as much as they're huge horsepower, big tires, all that sort of thing, they're fussy, they're finicky, and they're twitchy. I don't know what that meant. They used the word twitchy, and I was like, what does that mean? I don't know. Look at this. He's trying to hide at the back of the field, and he knew I was coming for him. That's okay. I have a feeling there's a lot of notes being exchanged back here between drivers, but let's go over and see if we can interrupt this conversation. I warned you I was going to find you. Kyle Steckly, you've been kind of the Kyle Larson of Canada when it comes to anything on wheels lately. They put you in it, you just find your way to get to the front.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun for sure. Happy to be here at Flamboro Speedway and Outlaw Super Late Model for the Gold Rush event. Big thanks to John for putting it on, and a good showing of cars here. So we got to start at the back, but we'll be all right. Just going to follow JR through, and big thanks to GSR, Chantarelli Promotions, Oshwegan Speedway, and Glenn himself for putting me in this car and giving me the opportunity to be here tonight.
Now, as my understanding, and correct me when I'm wrong, this is your first time in an Outlaw Super Late.
Yeah, first time today, so big learning curve, but caught on pretty quick. The car's good, and made some good adjustments. Got quite the crew back there, but proud of them, and I think we got a good car for tonight.
I know you got a little advice from JR Fitzpatrick, but just be careful because JR, I know, likes to win.
Yeah, he's going to have to finish second tonight, but we'll see how it goes, and should be a good race, and me and JR are going to head to the front and see what we can do.
How different is this thing to drive from your Pro Late?
It's quite a bit different. Setup's different, a lot more power for sure. So easy on the throttle. Luckily, I've got Super Late experience down south, but it's cool. It's fun, and definitely I don't think I'm going to like going back to the Pro Late here after this.
There's a lot underneath your foot, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely got to save it. 124 laps on one set of tires tonight's going to be tough, and saving tires for sure, but I think we got a good car, and we'll be able to do just fine.
What was the toughest thing switching from a Pro Late into this?
Just throttle control, being patient. You know, things happen a lot quicker, so you got to have good reaction time, but not a whole lot. A race car is a race car, and we're going to go out here and race.
Kyle Steckly, if it's got wheels on it, he'll jump in, make it go. Good luck tonight. Wow, that's what you call accepting the challenge, going to the back of the field.
So we're just waiting to
You're
get...
right. JR, you kept complaining about this car. It doesn't have the motor you need. I didn't think you were that slow.
No, the car is really good. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened to Kyle and I in qualifying there. We both got good hot rods, and it's just one of those deals, right? You just never know when something's going to break, and luckily we found it when it broke, when it did, and like I said, we got a good car. We'll be rolling up here shortly.
You're kind of serving notice to these guys in front. Is that what I hear?
Yeah, those guys up front are really fast. I'm curious to see what the invert is, and like I said, we'll just play it smart, but I think we got a good car. It's rolling here pretty good now.
Has it got enough to get to the front?
It's got enough to get there. I think, it's going to be really tough to pass some guys if they protect the bottom with the good engine packages they got. But hey, we all got 1,000 laps around here, and we'll see what we can do. We'll put a show on for sure.
Is the driver good enough to get it to the front?
I think so. I got a few more gray hairs, but I still know how to get around this place.
I think you cut your teeth on this place. I don't think you'll ever have a problem. JR Fitzpatrick, I think if I remember right, somebody said something about putting you in the car backwards with your hands behind your back. You could still get around here. Yeah. And I think your spotter had something to do with it too, JR.
All right, fans. Well, we're just about ready to rock and roll here for driver introductions. Just waiting to see if we can get the boss man out here to shake some hands. John's around. Bring the golf cart out here, John. He's got to be around here somewhere. That white golf cart doesn't go too far.
I can see him just making his way down the back chute in the pit. So just hold tight. John's on his way.
We can't start without the boss, right?
Absolutely not.
Let's take a quick minute. I haven't seen you at this racetrack in a long time, buddy. You still remembered where it was and how to get around it?
I remembered how to get here. Yeah, 40 minutes away from home, and it's like home for me. So it's fun to come back.
I even saw the number on the car, and I went, oh, my gosh, you kept the same old number? It didn't even change it.
Nope. That file was on an old computer.
No, I'm not going to how old the computer is because that'll be the next question. We're not going there.
Well, you're still older than me.
I'm still older than you. Don't you ever think otherwise. John Fletcher, in case you didn't know, John used to be a campaigner here all the time at Flamboro Speedway. Great to see him back out here tonight in the Super Late.
Windows XP.
All right, race fans, we are ready to rock and roll for driver introductions and introduce you the starting lineup for our Gold Rush 124. Starting in 20th spot out of Port Hope in the Bickle Farms, Farley's Auto Body, number 16, it's Rob Bickle. Starting in the 19th spot out of Milverton, Ontario in the Glen Stires Racing, Chantarelli Promotions, Oshweekend Speedway, number 0, it's Kyle Steckly. Starting in the 18th spot out of Cambridge, Ontario in the Cambridge Rigging, number 84, it's JR Fitzpatrick. Starting in the 17th spot out of Port Hope, Ontario in car number 72, it's Doug Gillespie. Starting in the 16th spot out of Acton, Ontario in the Burroughs Boys Racing, Secure Towing and Storage, number 64B, it's Chris Burroughs. Starting in the 15th spot out of Wardsville, Ontario in the Paul Brown and Son Excavating Limited, Ingersoll, car number 88, it's Ryan Dick. Starting in the 14th spot out of Caledonia, Ontario in the High Fit Glass, number 73, it's Mike Miller. Starting in the 13th spot out of Hillsdale, Ontario, in the Hillsdale Service Center, number 14 machine, it's Thane Halliburton. Starting in the 12th spot out of Milton, Ontario, car number 61, it's John Fletcher. Starting in 11th spot out of, starting in 11th spot out of Port Hope, Ontario, in the R. Brooking Tree Services Custom Mobile Wash number 21, it's John Owen. Now time to introduce your top 10 starters. Rolling off in 10th spot out of Guelph, Ontario, in the Campbell Sanitation Deb Olander Remax Realty number 07, it's Todd Campbell. Starting in the 9th spot out of Innisfil in the Simcoe Barge and Breakwall Sandy Cove Marine Red Line Size number 51, it's Ethan Cornea. Starting in the 8th spot out of Wybridge, Ontario, in the Car Guy Auto Service AP Racing Engines Top Deck number 5, it's Brad Pearsall. Starting in the 7th position out of Guildford, Ontario, in the Passer Racing number 03, it's Dario Capriccio. Starting in the 6th position out of Innisfil, Ontario, in the Genco Equipment Passer Racing number 17 machine, it's Brandon Passer. Now time to introduce your top 5 starters. Starting in 5th spot out of Barrie, Ontario, in the Line-X Barrie Zenetic Collision Norcom Supply number 22, it's Glenn Watson. Starting in the 4th position, making the drive all the way from Walkerton, Indiana, in the Preferred Warranties Inc. R&B Car Company, Community-Wide Federal Credit Union, number 11, it's Jaden Kratacci. Rolling off in 3rd spot out of Drumbo, Ontario, in the London Recreational Racing, Way Creed Automotive, Tri-County Sandblasting, Stewart's Equipment, Kubota, Canada, it's the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. Starting in 2nd spot out of Flint, Michigan, in the Wheeler Trucking, number 10, it's Blake Childers. And your quick time pole sitter tonight from Brighton, Michigan, in the Big Rigs Incorporated, number 16X, it's Kyle Crump. Fans, your starting lineup for the Gold Rush 124. But just before we begin, we are going to roll the dice for the invert, and I'm going to hand it over to the pole sitter. These are not loaded dice, all right, I promise. So we'll see what he rolls. 2 dice. Here we go for the invert. We got a 4 and a 3, so 7-car invert. 7-car invert coming up. So Kyle Crump going to start in 7th position. On the bottom side, we are going to get things ready to rock and roll. Drivers are going to get strapped in, and we're going to start this Gold Rush 124 in just a few moments here at Flamboro Speedway. All right, are we ready to go for the Gold Rush 124? Race fans, are you ready to go? Outlaw Super Late Model Racing? Come on, we're going to need more than that. Race fans, are you ready to go? Outlaw Super Late Model Racing? All right, I'm down here with the London Recreational Racing representative Mike Schmidt to give the command to fire these engine ups for the Gold Rush 124.
Drivers, start your engines.
Here we go. We're going to go Outlaw Super Late Model Racing.
That's what we've been wanting to hear, Jerry. There's some music here at Flamboro Speedway. This is the kind of music that John Caselli likes.
This is the orchestra. This is the band. This is the choir. This is what we've all been waiting for. Right now, looking at this racetrack, I'm going to tell you there's probably about 17 or 18,000 horsepower all sitting at idle. Wait till I wind them up.
Oh. They just ignite under your foot. As the cars all come to life, they will be doubled up. Gary Collick down on the racetrack, checking with each team, making sure they are all ready to rock and roll. He's getting thumbs up from everybody all the way down. And how about history tonight? Young Kyle Steckly making his first ever Outlaw super late model start. His 30 car that he runs ASA with is a super late model, but it is a template style car. This year, lots of downforce. He's in the GSR 0 for Glenn Stiers tonight. Going to be an amazing show.
And just to make sure, there's no prejudice on our part that the 3 guys from the USA who came to race with us tonight are in the front 4, but we don't think they'll stay there.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a tough order to stay there. But guys like Kyle Crump and Blake Childers and Dayton on the high side in that beautiful 11 Stars and Stripe machine. Awesome race cars, great drivers. And I put a tweet out just minutes ago. Said Canada versus the U.S. We've got it here. We just come off the Olympics. Well, this here is the Canadian version of the Outlaw Super Late Model Olympics here tonight at Flamboro Speedway.
We could call this the Canusa Outlaw Super Late Model Challenge.
Yes, we could.
But it's more fun to call it the Gold Rush 124.
Have you caught your breath yet there, Kevin?
We're working on it. Yeah, that was a lot of running around, but we're back up in the tower, and this is a fantastic field of wonderful-looking race cars prepared and ready to rock and roll. So just so everybody knows in the crowd, we are going to be taking a fuel break at around lap 60 to 65, somewhere in and around that number. Because a lot of these drivers have some smaller fuel cells. They cannot make 124 laps under the green flag conditions, so we're going to bring them down, let them fuel up for about 5 minutes, and then send them back onto the speedway. So it's going to be a great day.
It is notable that it will be fuel only. They're not allowed to take rubber. It's a 4-tire race.
You may recall an old movie line where they talked about, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Oh, no. You want to be down here where you can have that smell of race fuel.
It smells like somebody's doing the laundry, doesn't it, Jerry?
It's the best smell in the whole world. If they could bottle that.
Oh, yeah. We'd be buying it. It's got that fleecy smell, Cap.
It is like drugs to the nose, something like that. But it is a fantastic smell, and I just cannot wait to turn these race cars loose. We're going to do a wave lap, Trevor? Yeah. So this time, drive. Fans, grab your hats, grab your hands. We're going to send these drivers off, wave them off. 124 laps for the Gold Rush, 124 at Flamboro Speedway.
And as those cars make their way around the speedway, you can feel the thunder under your feet. The ground is shaking as we get set to turn these guys loose. We talked about thousands of horsepower on the racetrack. It's all coming down through the rubber. You can feel the asphalt shaking with excitement, just like everybody in the stands.
So the inversion now, Kev, is complete. The 0-3 of Dario Capriccio is your provisional pole sitter right now.
0-3 of Dario Capriccio is going to start on the pole. Second will be that 17 of Brandon Passer, then the 22 of Glenn Watson, then the first invader, as they say, the 11 of J.D. Crotacci, all the way from Walkerton, Indiana. Starting in fifth spot, the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. 6, another invader, the 10 of Blake Childers. 7th, your quick time pole sitter, the 16 of Kyle Crump. 8 will be the 5 of Brad Purcell. 9th, the 51 of Ethan Cornea. 10th, is going to be that 07 of Todd Campbell. 11th, the 21 of John Owen. To his outside in 12th, the 61 of John Fletcher. 13th is going to be the 14 of Thane Halliburton. 14th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 15th, the 88 of Ryan Dick. 16th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. 17th, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. 18th, the 0 of Kyle Steckly. 19th will be the 16 of Rob Bickle. And 20th, the 72 of Doug Gillespie. Fans, we're ready to rock and roll. The Bennett GM Chevrolet pace truck pulls down to the infield. Hands the field over to the 03 of Dario Capricchio. Fans, on your feet, it's the Gold Rush 124 at Flamboro Speedway.
And the Outlaw Super Legs explode down into turn number 1. Dario Capricchio holding on to the lead as Brandon Passer on the outside, still running side by side. As they come around to complete lap number 1, Capricchio in the lead.
Clean and green for lap number 1 as Dario springs out to about a car length lead over the 17 of Passer. Side-by-side battle in behind the 22 of Watson, and the 11 now takes over the 3rd spot.
Jaden Crotacci in that 11 car looking pretty racy here on the outside. He's going to take that 3rd spot away from the 22 of Glenn Watson. Craig Childers in the 10 going to try to follow him through as well. It's a pair of USA race cars on the top side. Glenn Watson, Sean Chenoweth down on the bottom for Canada as they try to take 3rd, 4th, and 5th away down the bottom side.
We've heard it said you can't run on the top lane at Flamboro Speedway. Have a look at that number 10 of Blake Childers. He came all the way from Flint, Michigan to prove you can run on the top lane. He is getting around the number 11 of Jaden Crotacci in that 11 car.
Childers in that 10, no stranger to running up front. Picked up the Reveal the Hammer win a few weeks ago at Outlaw Speedway. He's now knocking on the door for 2nd spot. Look into the bottom on the 17 of Brandon Passer. Move the 10 and Blake Childers up to 2nd spot here on lap number 5.
Just like that. And Kyle Crump also working his way up, guys. He's back in the 5th spot right now. So much for a 7 inversion. These guys are eating it up here at Flamboro Speedway. 6 laps complete. Dario's still up front, but here comes Childers in that 2nd spot, willing in about a 10th of a second a lap.
One car I'm kind of keeping my eye on here, a little bit deeper in the field, that 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. He is trying to make his way from the 18th starting spot all the way up through the field. He's up to 11th here now, looking at the back number of the 07 of Todd Campbell. Just got around the 61 of John Fletcher. The 0 of Kyle Steckly trying to work through his way as well. He's going to look to the outside on John Owen on the turn 4.
And there are battles all over the field, but right now that big one, Glenn Watson gets under the 17 of Brandon Passer. He's in pursuit of that number 16 of Kyle Crump out of Brighton, Michigan, trying to chase down that number 16. As now the 11 of Jaden Crotacci is kind of stuck behind the 17 of Brandon Passer, looking for a lane to get around him. He'll go to the top side of the racetrack.
Just ahead of that. Oh, 1 and spin and 1 and 2. Around goes the 10 of Childers in the middle of 1 and 2. Blake Childers around on the bottom side of turn number 1 and 2. And caution flag will come on the speedway. Well, oh, there we go. The 10 of Childers is going to go to the back. That's going to turn the race lead over to our quick time pole sitter, the 16X of Kyle Crump. He's going to take over the race lead here on lap number 10, I believe. Here, this one, Blake Childers was looking for the race lead. He's going to go all the way to the tail end of the longest line by the looks of things. So turn the race leader over to the 16 of Kyle Crump. Second now will be the 22 of Glenn Watson. In third will be the 17 of Brandon Patser. Fourth will be the 11 of Jaden Crotacci. Fifth, the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. Sixth now will be the 5 of Brad Pearsall. In seventh spot, look who is knocking on the door of the top 5. The 85 of the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, all the way up to 7th position here in the early runnings. Running in 8th will be right behind him the 51 of Ethan Cornea. 9th will be the 07 of Todd Campbell. 10th, the 61 of John Fletcher. 11th, the 0 of Kyle Steckly. 12th, the 21 of John Owen. 13th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 14th, the 14 of Thane Halliburton. 15th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. 16th will be the 16 of Rob Bickle. 17th, that will be the 10 of Blake Childers. Looks like the 72 of Doug Gillespie is down in the infield. And then we'll see if the 03 of Dario Capriccio will come back on the speedway. I think he is right now coming off of turn 4. So the 03 going to rejoin at the back of the field here in this one. And I think the 88 of Ryan Dick also went down into the pit area as well. So we'll keep an eye on that racing automobile. But I think we're going to go white flag here this time by. The field's doubled up. We're ready to send these guys back loose here from Gold Rush 124. Presented by Flamboro Speedway. Big shout out to Glenn Stiers Racing, GSR Racing, Oshwegan Speedway for all that they've done supporting this event. Big shout out to Glenn and all of his team over at Oshwegan Speedway and GSR. Well, we're going to turn this field back over to the original pole sitter, the 16 of Kyle Crump, and the Riley veteran to the outside, the 22 of Glenn Watson. Then a GM Chevrolet pace truck pulls off. We're ready to get back on the lap pedal. Green flag is back in the air.
They're side by side as they battle in the turns 1 and 2. Watson on the high side of the track, Crump on the bottom as the 16 slides away from the 22. Watson now puts the 22 in behind the 16 of Crump. Right behind him is the 11 of James Petacci.
Petacci now settles in third spot. Fourth, the 17 of Brandon Passer. And it looks like the caution flag comes on out onto the speedway. The 14 of Thane Halliburton down on the inside off of turn number 2. So the field's going to get sorted out here through timing and scoring. Kyle Crump out front. Glenn Watson is going to be in the second spot. In third spot now is going to be that 17 of Brandon Passer. Fourth is the 11 of Jaden Kratacci. And fifth, 89C of Sean Chenoweth. Sixth now, still knocking on the door of that top 5. The 84 of JR Fitzpatrick up into that 6th position. 7th, the 5 of Brad Pearsall. 8th is going to be the 07 of Todd Campbell. 9th, the 51 of Ethan Cornea. 10th is going to be that 0 of Kyle Steckly. 11th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 12th, the 61 of John Fletcher. 13th, the 21 of John Owen. 14th is going to be the 10 of Blake Childers. 15th, the 03 of Dario Capriccio. 16th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. 17th, the 16 of Rob Bickle. And final car on the speedway, the 14 of Thane Halliburton. Field is going to get doubled up here under the yellow flag behind the beautiful Bennett GM Chevrolet pace truck. We're going to get set to turn them back loose here. 11 laps now in the books of this Gold Rush 124 presented by Flamboro Speedway and Glenn Stiers Racing. Well, Joe, what do you think of this one so far?
Oh, my God. What a beautiful night here at Flamboro Speedway. We are truly, truly blessed to have this in front of us here tonight. Race fans, welcome aboard. And if you're just tuned in, definitely, man, if we got a barn burner here at Flamboro. Always provides a great race, but tonight, the Outlaw Super Late Models, 20 of them take the green flag. And here we go. We're coming back. 11 in the books, Kyle Crump, and the 22, Glenn Watson. Green flag is out.
Kyle Crump in 16 wasted no time. He hammered the gas at the green flag. He took off. He's in front now of the 22 of Watson. They're still side by side behind him, the 17 of Brandon Passer and number 11 of Jaden Petacci. Right in behind them, the 89, Sean Chenoweth, and battling for position, the 84, JR Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has worked his way all the way from the 18th starting spot. He's up to 5th now, looking for 4th. On the high side of the 17 of Brandon Passer. He's going to try to bring the 89C of Sean Chenoweth along with him. Couple of hometown favorites trying to go to work on the 17 of Brandon Passer. Moves that 84 of JR Fitzpatrick up to 4th, down into 3 and 4. Sean Chenoweth still looking to the outside of the 17 of Brandon Passer.
And looking back to the field just a wee bit, now cracking the top 10 in that GSR. Super Late Model, the 0 of Kyle Steckly, put him into the 10th spot. He is on the move. 15 laps complete, and you got Crump right front, the 22 Watson, starting to close it in a wee bit, Gary.
These guys have worked themselves into a line where they can start picking lanes and making passes. They're doing exactly that. JR Fitzpatrick, that number 84, he is up to fourth spot, and he is starting to put some pressure.
Well, problems with the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. He is off the pace down to turns 1 and 2. A puff of smoke come out the back end. That could be the end of the night for the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. A really tough break for the 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
A real tense moment just seconds ago down at turns 3-4 as the 07 of John Campbell and the 0 of Kyle Steckly made a little bit of contact there. Guys got right sideways, but they keep it going.
84 of JR Fitzpatrick still on the hunt as he worked around the 11 of Jaden Kurtachi. So move JR Fitzpatrick now up into the third. Oh, what around in the middle of 3 and 4, the 5 of Brad Purcell. The 17 of Brandon Passer get together. They're going to regroup it and continue on. Brad Purcell in the 5 machine still carries on. He's going to lose a ton of spots. Now from the 5th position all the way back to about 11th and 12th now as he settles in front of the 61 of John Fletcher. Action all over the third mile, Flamboro Speedway, but the 16 of Kyle Crump still in front of this one. 20 laps into the bunch of the Gold Rush, 124.
And for those Blake Childers fans, the 10th car, he is back up into the 8th spot. So he is coming back up through the field with 21 laps complete. Kyle Crump leads the parade. It is a conveyor belt, a little bit of side-by-side as you work your way through the field, Jerry. But guys are starting to look for a green flag run here.
As that long run gets rolling, we're watching that 0 of Kyle Steckly. He is picking his way through the traffic. He is moving forward. He's right behind the 17 of Brandon Passer. And right behind Kyle Steckly is the 10 of Blake Childers. They're moving fast as they come forward. Now it's stepped into the bottom of the racetrack as Passer goes to the high side. Steckly moves up. Childers will follow him right through the bottom of the racetrack. Brandon Passer loses 2 spots on the high side.
So 2 of the big favorites coming into tonight. The hometown favorites, the 0 of Kyle Steckly, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, started from the tail of the field, and now they've worked their way up. JR runs in the 3rd position, Kyle Steckly runs in the 5th position, but Kyle Steckly has a hungry customer behind him. The 10 of Blake Childers, after challenging for the race lead early on, he is now all over the back bumper of that GSR number 0, knocking on the door of the top 5 on lap number 26.
Less than 100 to go. Did you just see a little puff there, Jeff? I think JR Fitzpatrick touched the wall coming down the front stretch here. I could be mistaken, but I think I've seen a puff.
These drivers are getting everything out of these Outlaw super late models as the front field really working through some heavy lap traffic. Kyle Crump navigates around the 73 of Mike Miller, the 64 of Chris Burrows, the 14 of Thane Halliburton, and the 16 of Rob Pickle. Now 3rd and 4th, Jaden Kurtachi and JR Fitzpatrick trying to work their through there as well. One Watson through nice and clean. Fitzpatrick to the inside on Mike Miller. Kurtachi now trying to get around Miller to keep pace with that 84 machine. Lap 28 goes up on the board. Keep in mind, lap around 60 to 65. We will have a competition yellow for a fuel stop, so these drivers will kind of run into the halfway break. So keep that in mind. You want to stay on the lead lap, keep your tires nice and fresh. But right now, that 16 of Kyle Crump set a really fast pace at the front of the field in this one.
And you hit on it, Cap. You do want to save those tires. This is 124 laps in the Gold Rush. You're going to need rubber, Jerry, at the end of this. These Hoosier tires are good tires, but you cannot make them mad. If you do, you'll pay the price.
You've got to save the tires. That's what we were told by more than one of the drivers as they got into this tonight. I can run hard, I can run fast, but if I don't look after my tires, I am going to be in trouble as we get to the end of this race. Right now, there is a huge battle going on back in the middle as Kyle Steckly tries to work around the 64 of Chris Burrows. He's got the 73 of Mike Miller in his sight, the 10 of Brad Childers right behind Steckly as they go down the back straightaway. And I think Childers is getting a little driving lesson on Flamboro Speedway from Kyle Steckly.
The big lead that Kyle Crump had in the 16 car for Bobby Blount is kind of evaporating. The 22 of Watson running in that 2nd spot isn't far behind, and neither is the 3rd slot. The 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, they're reeling them in here.
These drivers are really going to work at the wheel. Behind the wheel, you can start to see some of these brake rotors starting to warm up and get the orange glow Oh, Brad Purcell in Whittle 1 and 2. Loose off the bottom side. He's going to collect it again and continue on. Purcell in that 5 machine regroups and gathers himself back up. We're continuing under the green flag here on lap number 35 of the Gold Rush 124 here at Flamboro Speedway. Drivers starting to settle in, run their pace, run their line, but that's 16 of Kyle Crump. He is really putting a fast lap time out here right now and really turning up the wick. Let the drivers work for a little bit harder. He's closing in on the lap down for the top 10 here right now. John Owen currently runs in that 10 spot, and Kyle Crump is right on the back bumper of that 21 machine here at lap number 37.
But it's not going to be that easy. He's got to get around the 73 of Mike Miller. Then Wave was way around the 21 of John Owen. He's got the 07 of Todd Campbell in front of that. There is a line of traffic, and they are battling for positions up there. They're not going to make it easy for them.
And there's a full lineup of traffic in front of them, and that's the 17 of Brandon Passer, the 51 of Ethan Cornea, the 07 of Todd Campbell, and that 21 of John Owen. They are running 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, so they're battling nose to tail right in front of the leaders, and that's allowed the 22 of Glenn Watson and the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick to join the battle, and now the 11 of Jaden Kutachi joins that train as well down the back straightaway into 3 and 4.
Those front four have teamed up together now. They're running nose to tail. It's not because they've been faster. It's because they're stuck behind that slower traffic, trying to work their way through it. And that number 16 of Kyle Crump, he is looking for a way. He's finding a lane somewhere as he looks under the 21 of John Owen. He'll go back and get behind him down the front straightaway. Now he's going to go to the outside as they go around turns 1 and 2. And Glenn Watson decides to hold back and make sure that lane is going to work.
Top 4 drivers nose to tail off of turn number 4. Kyle Crump trying to get around that 21 of John Owen. But Owen is trying really hard to keep that 21 machine on the lead lap here as we work lap number 43. Again, we're going to have a competition yellow at around lap 60 to 65. So really important to try to stay on the lead lap. And John Owen is doing a heck of a job here so far. Kyle Crump cannot find a way to get around him. It's closed those top 4 drivers nose to tail down the back straightaway.
Kyle Crump is stuck right now. He has got side-by-side battles ahead of him. 2 and 3 rows ahead as 44 laps are complete of tonight's Gold Rush 124 live from Flamboro Speedway. I'm Joe Chisholm along with Jerry Paxton and Kevin Small, the house announcer from Flamboro Speedway, and man, what a race here tonight.
It is pretty cool to see these Outlaw Super Late models ripping around Flamboro's 1/3 mile racetrack. 20 of the best in the business so far, duking it out here on lap number 46 in this one. We're going to have a 6-car battle here very shortly as Kyle Steckly and Blake Childers, they've tried to close in on the back bumper of that 11 of Jaden Kutachi, trying to make it a 6-car freight train at the front of the field. The 16 of Kyle Crump finally gets down to the inside on the 21 of John Owen. We'll see if we can put that 21 car a lap down into turns 1 and 2.
And it didn't take Glenn Watson long to put the 22 on the bottom of the racetrack. Make sure the 21s of Owen stayed up high. That allowed him to get through. Then the 84 JR Fitzpatrick, he's following through on the bottom. And John Owen suddenly finds himself going, what happened? I'm up the racetrack. Everybody seems to be going by. Jaden Kutachi now, and that number 11 to the back bumper of the 21 number, John Owen. But there's nowhere else to go. He can't find a clean lane to get around them.
Blake Childress just had a moment down the backstretch. He almost lost it, gathered it up, and kept it going. We got a move coming right now. The 84 of Fitzpatrick pulls up side by side with the 22 of Watson, but he's got traffic ahead. The 07 of Campbell is right there. JR's going to have to back up and get behind the 22.
JR Fitzpatrick trying to knock on the door of the second position. Real big wiggle for the 07 of Todd Campbell off the exit of turn number 4. Guys are hanging on to it, trying to get to the end of this run. Again, 124 laps of track is starting to get a little greasy. Battle for 5th now. Blake Childers looking to the inside on Kyle Steckly. He's going to go for 2 spots. Now underneath the 11 of Jaden Kutachi. Oh my goodness, hang on to your hats. Childers goes from 6th to 4th. In one corner, Childers now looking to go around the 21 of John Owen. Kyle Steckly now looking to the inside on the 11 of Jaden Kutachi. Oh my, what a move from the 10 of Blake Childers off the exit of turn 4.
That is called a short track professional right there. Blake Childers putting on the show here tonight, getting a 2 for Jared.
He is picking them off one by one. He finally gets around the 07 of Todd Campbell. Now he's got to get around the 73 of Mike Miller, and he does that in short order as they go through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Steckly is following the 10 of Childers. It's now Kyle who's picking up a couple of lessons from the 10 of Childers. Now that Childers figured out how to get around Flamboro Speedway.
What a guy to go to school from. You got Blake Childers in front, you got Kyle Steckly behind. Tell me he isn't learning the ton, Kevin.
Steckly, not a stranger to a super late model, but a little bit different to an Outlaw super late model. He went down, won the Red Bud 400 in a template super late model, but these Outlaw super late models just a little bit different to drive. Had a little bit of problems in practice time, but got it sorted out. Was quick in practice time, had to come all the way from the rear of the field. Now he's trying to knock on the door of the top 4 as he tries to follow that 10 of Blake Childers through here as we work lap number 58. So just a reminder, the competition yellow will be coming up around the lap 60 to 65. So a few more handful of laps before we get to that competition yellow where we're going to have the drivers refuel. So keep that in mind as they try to work their way to get to that competition yellow here in just a moment. Kyle Crump, though, still out front. Glenn Watson runs in second. JR Fitzpatrick third. Blake Childers fourth. Kyle Steckly in fifth as we work lap number 60.
If you're keeping track at home, it goes U.S., Canada, Canada, U.S. Right now, your top 4.
Some of those battles we saw earlier look like they may have cooled down just a little bit. Drivers starting to look at the lap counter, realizing that break is imminent, and they're letting those tires cool down gently. But one who isn't, the number 10 of Childers. He is on the back bumper of JR Fitzpatrick, number 84, and he is not letting up.
I've just seen the halfway flags go up in the air, so we're halfway home, halfway to go in this Gold Rush 124 at Flamboro Speedway, presented by Glenn Stires Racing, Oshwegan Speedway. So halfway home, 63 now, 63 laps go up on the board. Kyle Crump still out front. Fuel stop coming up. Just look up here, and JR Fitzpatrick has surrendered that third position. The 10 of Blake Childers around the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. Well, the 14 of Thane Halliburton down on the bottom. Caution flag is going to fly. 14 of Thane Halliburton brings out the yellow flag, and I'm going to guess that's going to be our halfway break if I had an idea. So we're going to sort the field out here before we bring them underneath the yellow flag. We're going to step out, let our timing and scoring sort this one out, but holy smokes. Halfway home in this one, just over halfway of the Gold Rush 124. I believe this is going to be the halfway break. So we're going to allow the drivers to come on down into pit lane. No tire adjustments. They're allowed to stop in front of their trailers, pick up fuel only, cool off these racing slicks, and then come back out here. So we're going to give them a couple minutes to do that because there's a couple drivers from the States that have a little bit smaller of a fuel tank than compared to some of these Canadian drivers. So they could not make it 124 laps. So this is going to kind of be that halfway break. We're going to try to set these guys up here before we bring them down pit road.
Before they pushed you away here. Sean, you're having a good night, but something didn't work.
Yeah, we're pretty pumped up at the start of the night there to lay down the fastest lap of a Canadian car, and I think we really brought a good piece to race up front with these guys tonight. We're just driving around saving tires, and yeah, all my hard work and all my dreams and money and everything I got just blew up in smoke. So pretty sure we're done racing for the year, and I'm not sure what's next.
Super stock time, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get back in that thing. I pretty bummed out right now, but yeah, I guess I can go run that. But this is my heart and soul. I got everything into this car, and it all comes to an end tonight.
I think I have to take part of the blame, Sean. They asked me who my pick was for the night, and I said it was you.
No blame on you guys. It was a good pick.
Sean Chenoweth, the car done, and he's going to head it back to the pits now. They've got a lot of work to do. That car is done.
Kev, why do you say you give us a full field rundown before we go back under the green flag?
White flag's coming out. Here's how they're going to take off. On the starting first, the 16 of Kyle Crump outside, the 22 of Glenn Watson. Third will be the 10 of Blake Childers. Fourth, the 0 of Kyle Steckly. In fifth, that 11 machine of Jaden Kratacci. Six will be the 51 of Ethan Cornea. In seventh, the 21 of John Owen to his outside, the 5 of Brad Pearsall. Ninth will be the 07 of Todd Campbell. 10th, the 03 of Dario Capricchio. 11th, the 61 of John Fletcher. 12th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. 13th, the 16 of Rob Mickle. 14th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 15th, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. As I say that, the green flag is back out. We're back on the hammer here in the Gold Rush. 124.
And he did all that without taking a breath. Gary Paxton side by side down the backstretch. Give the lead to Crump. He is out front, followed by the 22 of Watson. Back to Childers in third, and Steckly in fourth. 65 laps now complete of tonight's Gold Rush 124.
And very quickly the drivers work themselves into single file. As the race picks up right where it left off, they are at it hard and fast. Kevin Crump in that number 16, or Kyle Crump, I'm sorry. Kyle Crump in that 16 car, he is flying down the back straightaway. Glenn Watson about 2 car lengths behind him, but not giving up any more ground than that. In third spot, that number 10, Blake Childers, he's on fire trying to take down the front two. Kyle Steckly runs in fourth, then the 11 of Jaden Kratacci.
Keeping my eye on that 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. He's working with about 5 of the lap down cars. So put him on the backside of the 10th running position here on the speedway. In actuality, he's running in the 6th spot. He's still got a lot of cars to pass to see if he can make his way back up through this field. He might need a couple yellows to kind of get himself sucked up. He works around the 07 of Todd Campbell. JR Fitzpatrick is on the move. Coming back to the front here in this one on lap number 69.
Looking back to that first spot, guys, the 0 of Kyle Steckly in that GSR machine is looking on the inside of the 10 of Blake Childers. He's looking, he's not moving yet, but he is definitely looking out front, the same speed of Kyle Crump with about a 3 car length lead over the 22 Z-line of Glenn Watson.
Glenn Watson in that 22 runs about 3 to 4 car lengths back to that 16 of Kyle Crump. Then another couple car lengths back to the 10 of Blake Childers, and then Kyle Steckly is still on the back bumper of that 10 car. Those two drive all caution flag on the speedway, one around underneath the light pole in 3 and 4. Late that is the 16 of Rob Mickle.
As the Bennett GM pace truck is pacing the field around Flamboro, scores all sorting it out. The 84, JR Fitzpatrick, is finding his spot here, and he is going to fit in right behind Jaden in the 11 car. So he has made up a ton of ground.
Well, that play worked out pretty good. He made an adjustment, got the yellow flag that he was kind of looking for, because as soon as that yellow flag comes out, he goes to the tail end of the lead lap cars ahead of all those other racing automobiles. So now JR running in the 6th position is going to line up in the 6th position. So we'll see if that 84 machine has anything for these top guys here in the final handful of laps as the field starts to double up. Try to give you a rundown here. Kyle Crump out front in second will be the 22 of Glenn Watson. Third, the 10 of Blake Childers. Fourth will be the 0 of Kyle Steckly. Fifth, the 11 of Jaden Kratacci. In sixth, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. Running in seventh, the first car 1 lap down will be the 51 of Ethan Cornea. To his outside, the 21 of John Owen. In ninth will be the 5 of Brad Pearsall. In 10th, the 07 of Todd Campbell. 11th will be the 64 of Chris Burrows. 12th, the 03 of Dario Capricchio. 13th, the 73 of Mike Miller, and 14th will be the 16 of Rob Mickle. I saw the 61 of John Fletcher go down to the garage area, so we'll see if that 61 machine can make an appearance back on the speedway as the white flag is in the air. We're ready to turn them back loose. The lights are off on our Bennett GM Chevrolet base truck. Kyle Crump, Glenn Watson back at it again on the top row.
And they slide their way down the back stretch into turns 3 and 4. We're on the junior Hanley lap right now, coming back to green. 72 complete. Green flags back out.
Kyle Crump in that number 16. a great restart as he takes off down the back straightaway now after turns 1 and 2. And Blake Childers going with him. That number 10 car got a great restart to 0. Kyle Steckly following him, and Glenn Watson has gone from 2nd to 4th in just a lap after that restart.
Kyle Steckly made a huge move down the middle of the back straightaway. He went from the top to the bottom and sliced through the 11 of James Bertacci and the 22 of Glenn Watson. He's up to 4th spot now, and we're up not too far behind him. The 84 of JR Fitzpatrick just wheeled around that like of James Bertacci. Moved the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick up to 5th.
Not often do you say 3 wide with these cars, but it just happened moments ago coming off turn 4. Just amazing to see. All drivers kept it going, and just amazing. 16 of Kyle Crump. A little bit of spark scary that time into turn number 3.
They are flying around Flamboro Speedway, that's for sure. But those front 5, all the guys are all the top 6 on the lead lap. They are just moving, but they are taking it easy to make sure they don't make a mistake. JR Fitzpatrick in the 84. Now making his move towards the 22 of Glenn Watson as they head into turn 2 down the back straightaway. Fitzpatrick measuring up the 22 car. About 3 or 4 laps from now, looks like he could make the pass.
Oh, they're going to be enjoying themselves right now. Kevin, they've got some clear track ahead of Crump. As he goes into turn 3, the last place car into turn 1 right now, it's not going to be long. And we're going to be talking about lap traffic again, so if you're going to make your move, you better hurry up and do it.
We saw lap traffic be a little bit of an issue in the first half of the race, and so I'm going to guess it's going to be no stranger here in the second half of the race. Now Crump closing in on the back end of the field here. Not too far before he hits that lap traffic, and then the 10 of Blake Childers going to try to see if he can make his move. A couple of the U.S. invaders up front here in this one right now. Kyle Crump out front, Blake Childers in second, Kyle Steckly going to third. 4th, the 22 of Glenn Watson. 5th would be that 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. In 6th, the 11 of Jamie Bertacci. 7th, the 51 of Ethan Cordia. 8th is the 5 of Brad Kershaw. 9th, the 21 of John Owen. 10th, the 07 of Todd Campbell. 11th, the 64 of Chris Burrow. 12th, the 03 of Mario Trujillo. 13th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 14th, the 16 of Rob Mickle. Final car on the speedway, and then John Fletcher and the rest of the field. So 14 cars still on the track. We're starting to get into some lap traffic. They worked around the 16 of Rob Mickle. Now the 73 of Mike Miller is the next car to be put another lap down.
83 laps complete as Childers just made a move on the 73 in that second slot. 84 complete. We want to welcome all the viewers on Cable 14. Guys did a great job with the pictures of tonight's race. You're enjoying a great race here on Cable 14.
Still lots of racing action here to go. Today, Rush 124 at Flamboro Speedway, presented by Glenn Steyer's Racing, GSR Oswego Speedway. Huge shout out to the whole team for putting this wonderful event on, as well as John and Frank Selly for stepping up and putting on a huge show here at Flamboro Speedway on a Tuesday night. And so far, it has not disappointed. Kyle Crump out front, Blake Childers in second, third, Kyle Steckly. The battle for 4th and 5th heats up though into turns 3 and 4. Glenn Watson, JR Fitzpatrick, Jamie Bertacci trying to join in that battle as well as they work off of turn 4. JR Fitzpatrick looking to see if he can make a move on the widely ventured the 22 of Glenn Watson.
To the high side, the 22 of Watson goes around the 64 of Burrows. The 84 of Fitzpatrick also on the high side. They clear the 64. And now straight up the windshield for the 22 of Watson. He's got the 03, a Mario Trujillo that he's closing in on. Up front still, Bobby Blump's number 16 car of Kyle Crump. About a car length and a half behind Kyle, you will find Blake Childers in the 10 car. Right now, you got US in 1, 2. Canada in 3 and 4 and 5, and then back to 6, another U.S. car. Great competition here tonight.
one thing I've been keeping my eye on, I've never seen an Outlaw Speedway model run the extreme highline. That 10 of Blake Childers, every now and then he'll go way up the racetrack and then dive back down on the bottom. That 10 car seems to be hooked up, and he is not afraid to put that 10 machine wherever he needs to be. He just made an absolute move to get around the 21 of John Owen. He is trying to see if he can march his way to the front. We got 32, now going to be 31 laps to go. It's time to start to turn up that record. Maybe get Blake Childers, Spotter, and Gucci for telling him, hey, closing in on 30 go. It's time to rock and roll. Kyle Crump still out front of this one. He's led a good chunk of laps. But Blake Childers has closed that gap to within 2 car lengths off of turn 4.
Right now, that zero car of Kyle Steckly is stuck behind 2 lap cars that are fighting for position. John Owen in that 21-16
Caution on the Speedway. Caution on the Speedway. I think there's some debris. Yeah, that's where we're here.
The French guy up over there, Mr. Debris.
Thanks to everybody, Brenda, Bob over in the pits and the tower, everybody, Kaylee, for putting on a fantastic show here tonight at Flamboro Speedway. Fans, buckle yourselves in. 30 laps for $12,000 to win. This is going to be a doozy. The Bennett GM Chevrolet Pace Truck is going to make that hard left-hand turn. Kyle Crump, Blake Childers now on the front row. Off of turn 4, green flag is back in the air.
Childers in that 10 car tries to get the early advantage. He's got the nose in front as they come around 1 and 2, but Kyle Crump is fighting back on the inside as they get down into turn 3 and 4. They're side by side. Crump with the advantage out of turn 4, but here comes Childers, and they are dead side by side, door panel to door panel, as they come through 1 and 2. And once again, Crump with the 16 takes advantage.
Childers trying to see if he can get the job done on the high side, but he's going to pull back in line behind that 16 of Kyle Crump. Now Childers to see if he can follow the tire tracks of the 16. Kyle Steckly another couple car lengths back, and now JR Fitzpatrick has worked his way up to 4th. Lap number 96 goes up on the board. Kyle Crump out front, Blake Childers in 2nd, Kyle Steckly 3rd, JR Fitzpatrick in 4th, 5th. 22 of Glenn Watson, Jaden Kurtachi right in the mix there as well, knocking on the door of that top 5. We are getting down to this one, 27 to go. Blake Childers trying to see if he can track down that race leader to 16 of Kyle Crump. Kyle Steckly in the mix as well. It is getting excited here in the Gold Rush 124.
The battle up front settling down just a little bit now as Childers in that 10 car settles back in behind the 16 of Crump. That doesn't mean he's done fighting. It just means he's cooling his tires, getting ready for the move. Kyle Steckly in that zero car all the way up into 3rd. He's got the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick riding the back bumper. Straight behind him with 22 of Glenn Watson. Then the 11 of Jaden Kurtachi goes in the front 6 lead lap car.
100 laps goes up on the board. Our scoreboard doesn't even go to 100, so we're at 0 laps. Now we're on lap 01 of this Gold Rush 124, presented by Glenn Steyer's Racing here at Flamboro Speedway. JR Fitzpatrick is knocking on the door of the podium here as he is all over the back bumper of Kyle Steckly. Kyle Steckly trying to hold on to that 3rd spot, but JR Fitzpatrick all over the back bumper. Kyle Steckly's got a lot of right rear damage. I don't know if he hit the wall there, but that right front, the wing is down on the back side of that zero car. I'm sure that's got to be affecting the handling. You can see the it looks like the trunk lid is falling off on the zero car.
It's a battle between Air and Milfordson right now. The 84 that's faster goes up the inside of Steckly, side by side, back to the line. Steckly still in that 3rd spot with 104 complete here in tonight's Gold Rush 124. And up front, the 16 car of Crump is now dealing with lap traffic. And look at Childers at the high side of the racetrack and back down to the bottom. What a man.
They are slicing and dicing around in this one. Leaders working around lap traffic. Keep an eye on that trunk lid of the zero car of Kyle Steckly, as that thing is hanging on by a couple of Zeus screws by the looks of things. That thing is almost coming apart, and somehow he's hanging on to it, running in that 4th spot. The battle for the race lead really heating up. 107 laps. now go up on the board. Blake Childers, Kyle Crump, duking it out for the Gold Rush champion. They want to take all the gold back with them down to the United States. We'll see if they can duel it out. And maybe JR Fitzpatrick can make it happen here in the final laps of this one. Top 108 goes up on the board. 16 laps to go. That battle for the race leaders really starting to heat up into 3 and 4.
We're down to the money laps now, and the gloves are off. As Childers in that 10 car, doing everything he can to make up some ground on the 16 of Kyle Crump. So far, no luck, but the lap traffic isn't far in front of them. That could play a big role as Childers looks for a way around that 16.
Lap traffic definitely going to come in the factory here as they work around the 07 of Todd Campbell. Next up, a couple breaker cars at 03 and 5 of Brad Pearsall, and the 21 of John Owen. So we'll see if they close in. 14 laps now, 13 laps to go under the stripe. I think Childers' best shot is to catch that 16 as he tries to work around lap traffic. And here we go, Crump with that 16 car. Now working around the 03 and the 5 car. Childers trying to close the gap here off of turn number 4, but Kyle Crump holding a nice smooth wheel out the front of this one. Childers trying to see if he can hold on and try to close in on that 16 car.
Bobby Blount will be just peeking over in the pits right now, watching his 16 car with Kyle Crump behind the wheel, doing a masterful job tonight at Flamboro Speedway. As Childers goes to the high side of Johnny Owen, he clears him down the back stretch. Now they have about a 20 to 25 car gap between first and the next set of lap cars. Jerry, if you're going to make a move, you've got to do it soon. 114 complete. Canada.
The dance card is full. It's time to make your last wish because here they come. Down the front straightaway, Childers in that 10 car closes right to the back bumper of the 16 as they enter turns 1 and 2. But down the straightaway, Crump takes the 16 car out in front, down into turn number 3. He'll get below the 16 of Rob Lidholm and get through safely.
Lap number 116 goes up on the board. 8 laps to go in the Gold Rush 124 at Flamboro Speedway. Leaders are catching some heavier lap traffic. There is action all over the speedway. The battle for 5th and 4th is heating up. Jaden Bertacci all over the back bumper of Glenn Watson. Kyle Steckly in that mix as well. But the leaders are right behind some lap traffic. Kyle Crump, Blake Childers nose to tail down at 3 and 4. This time underneath the stripe. 6 laps to go in this one.
It doesn't get any better than this in the Gold Rush 124. As they work down the back stretch, Kyle Crump has got about a 3-car length lead, make it 2 over the 10 car right now. They come to the line, 5 to go, Jerry, 5 circuits.
And the battle is heating up. They're using all those lap cars as picks. And Kyle Crump doing a great job defensively to put himself in the right spot so that the pass cannot be made around that lap car. Now they've got clear racetrack in front of them. Crump in the 16, the 10 of Childers. They are rolling down the back straightaway. It's about 5 or 6 car lengths between them. It charges right up as they come through the turn. And once again, Crump manages to stretch out that lead.
3 laps to go in the Gold Rush 124 here at Flamboro Speedway, presented by GSR and Glenn Steyer's Racing. This time underneath the stripe, the popsicle sticks go up in the air. Kyle Crump, 2 more circuits around the 3rd mile of Flamboro Speedway. Blake Childers is within 2 car lengths, down into 3 and 4. Childers is going to try one more time. White flag is in the air. This is it. White flag out for the 16 of Kyle Crump. Crump holding on to a nose length advantage. Childers has got one more time to try to get the jump done. Down into 3 and 4 for the final time. Kyle Crump is going to take home the Gold Rush 124 here at Flamboro Speedway.
Nothing is sweeter than Caselli Cash, and Kyle Crump just won a whole pot of it. Jerry Paxton won a race here tonight at Flamboro Speedway.
Kyle Crump dominated that second half. He didn't do bad in the first, but boy, he dominated that second half of this Gold Rush 124. He'll bring it home, but I think Blake Childers did everything he could and more to try and close that gap and steal the win. He just couldn't close the deal. He didn't have enough car left to make it happen. JR Fitzpatrick will finish in 3rd spot. Not bad for a guy who started from the back, not once, but twice.
And how about the run for Kyle Steckly? His first Outlaw Super Late Model race. He did start at the rear, finishes with a top 5 finish. Amazing to say the least. What a talented individual that guy is. As the winner, Kyle Crump comes into victory lane right on the front stretch. Jerry Paxton is going to get words with him. Man, what a race here tonight at Flamboro Speedway. Kyle Crump undoing the belts. He's getting ready to pop out of that race car. And there he is, everyone. He can hear you now.
Put your hands together, old race winner, Kyle Crump. I'd have to say, you're looking a little bit weary.
Yeah, Blake was certainly putting the pressure on at the end there. I was starting to have some brake fade and whatnot, and I just knew he was hounding me. We're running radios tonight. We normally don't get to run radios, so I knew where he's at the whole time, and he was keeping me honest.
This car looked like it was on rails, though. I mean, as much as you tell me you were having brake fade and everything else, it didn't look like it was hard to handle.
Yeah, that's just a testament to Bob Blount, Junior Hanley. They did an awesome job on this car. Quite a few cars in the field here, honestly, fielded by those guys, and I mean, they never seem to miss, man. They're always a blast to drive, and honestly, just thankful to be able to do it.
So it was a worthwhile trip to make it all the way to Flamboro.
Yeah, I've actually never been to Canada before, so I might have to start coming back now.
I'm pretty sure John's going to do this again next year, so put it on your calendar now.
Yeah, special thanks to him, man, putting this event on. Got a lot of people from the States coming over, and I can only see it getting bigger. This is a really fun race. All the guys here were cool. Lap traffic was respectful, and yeah, I see nothing but it growing if he keeps trying to do it up. So
we love the Super Lates, man. You guys put on a show. Congratulations on the win.
Yep, thank you.
I know it's only Canadian cash. It's not real money.
Hey, it all counts.
Kyle Crump, your winner tonight. We'll get over here. We talked friendly before, but I'm sure you're not quite as friendly now. The second place wasn't what you wanted.
No, it wasn't what we wanted, but I mean, like I said, we took the lead there, and lap car got us. I don't know, it's kind of hard to take calls like that, but yeah, we battled from the back and wore our tires and brakes and everything out getting there, and trying to get to the front, and just needed more time, just needed another 10 laps or so. They had a great car. Car was really fast, and they deserve it. They worked hard for it, so we'll come back next year and try it again.
All right, putting it in second spot, not a bad night. And again, sorry, it's just Canadian cash.
Hey, that'll work. I gotta thank Terry Seneker for all the help he gives me on the car. My car owner Rex Wheeler, he owns a Wasso Speedway back in the States there in Wasso, Michigan. And if it wasn't for my crew guys and Seneker and Rex Wheeler and everybody, we wouldn't be able to be here racing. So I'm thankful for them guys very much.
We'll look for you next year.
See you then.
All right. Now, let's find this guy who started at the back not once, but twice tonight and brought it up. JR Fitzpatrick, third place. I know you'd love to have done better, but you obviously had some issues with the car tonight.
Yeah, we weren't perfect, but I mean, the car was handling pretty good at the beginning, and then we just started getting brake fade there, and then our rear end's smoking pretty good now. But we decided as a team to come in and bleed the brakes, just make sure everything's cool. We don't want to wreck this car. We're racing Friday at Delaware here, so we're leading the points there. So, hey, this is a great night. First Canadian car against those two rocket ships. I mean, they were fast. Yeah, it was good. Thanks to you all for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, we came from the back twice, so if you don't like that, you don't like racing.
All right. I know next year you come back, you're going to make sure that car is 100%.
Oh, definitely. We definitely put a good effort in. It's just, we're learning this new car. We haven't really done a lot to it because it's been good everywhere. But, yeah, we're learning. It was fun. And, yeah, third. I'm pumped.
JR Fitzpatrick, bring her home in third.
How do I get that back up so I can see?
Well, that was quite the show down here at Flamboro Speedway, the Gold Rush. 124 in the books for 2024. Well, Joe, up there in the booth, what do you got for the final words for all the fans here at Flamboro?
Oh, my goodness. What a race here tonight. Again, Thank you, John and Frank Caselli. Thanks to the U.S. competitors that come in to join up with this field of cars. I can only see this race getting bigger. And I'll tell you, this was the Super Late Model race, the Outlaw Super Late Model race of the season here. Just amazing. It'll be a good one at Delaware Speedway, but hey, they're going to have a hard time topping this one here at Flamboro Speedway. The Gold Rush 124, Kyle Crump in the 16. What a job. Jerry, final thoughts.
Like we said, what a race. And I love when the drivers come out pumped up and say, we want to come back next year. We want to build this. We want to do this again. That's a great sign of what a great show we saw tonight and what we're going to see in the future. John Caselli and Frank have done a tremendous job of putting this show together, and kudos to them because the racing was phenomenal. I can say it now. I wouldn't have said it before we went racing, but hey, do you realize that everybody finished with all the body panels on?
Just amazing. Kev, what do you think?
I think this was a fantastic show. Again, we want to thank all the fans for coming on out, all the drivers for coming on out, the pure stocks, all the Outlaw Super Late Models. We hope you had a fantastic night here at Flamboro Speedway. We'll give you a quick final rundown here on the results. So Kyle Crump comes home with the win. Second will be the 10 of Blake Childers. Third, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. Fourth, the 0 of Kyle Steckly. Fifth, 22 of Glenn Watson. In sixth, the 11 of Jaden Kratacci. Seventh, the 51 of Ethan Cornea. Eighth is the 5 of Brad Purcell. Ninth, the 21 of John Owen. 10th, the 07 of Todd Campbell. 11th, the 03 of Dario Capricchio. 12th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. 13th, the 73 of Mike Miller. 14th, the 16 of Rob Bickle. 15th, the 61 of John Fletcher. 16th, the 17 of Brandon Passer. 17th, the 14 of Thane Halliburton. 18th, the 89C of Sean Chenoweth. 19th, the 88 of Ryan Dick. And 20th, the 72 of Doug Gillespie. Well, fans, we hope you had a great time here at Flamboro Speedway. Thanks for all your hard work. And from everybody here at Flamboro Speedway, from John and Frank Caselli, Joe Chisholm, Jerry Paxton down in the booth, all the guys from Race Down Radio, Track Tune, Cable 14, we thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We hope you had a great night. Come on out, check us out on a Saturday night here at Flamboro Speedway. Remember, everyone here at Flamboro Speedway, drive home safe. We'll see you next time here, and that's the conclusion of the Gold Rush 124.